Welcome to Dating Log, the podcast that records the ups and downs of dating in your 30s. I'm your host, Wyndham Juno, and this is episode 3, Loved and Late. In this episode, I spoke with an old friend from Boston. We touched on how our lives have changed since our early 20s and what it means to be dating now in terms of finding a balance with our time, energy, and building a career. I hope you all have had a wonderful Pride Month. Enjoy the episode.
Okay, yes, so I am Chanda. I identify as a Southeast Asian American queer. I use she, her pronouns, and I would say I would consider myself maybe a dapper queer. Definitely not butch. I hate that word. I live in Providence, Rhode Island. It is very fucking cute. I moved here about 3 years ago from Boston after having lived there for like 9 years.
I would like to know, can you share your age with us?
Oh yeah, I am 34. I will be 35 in August. Remember when we were in our 20s?
I was just gonna say, how old were we when we met? Like 23?
I was 24 when we met.
Okay, then I was 23.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago.
I missed the part where you moved to Providence. I thought you were still in Boston.
No, I got out of there as soon as I could.
And why did you get out of there as soon as you could? What?
You know, I had goals for myself. I wanted to be able to live alone. And Boston just felt so chaotic. And I just got over it. Providence is so... Have you been to Providence?
Not in a long time, I would say.
Right, yeah. Well, it's definitely super cute. It's super queer. It's like quirky, eccentric, creative. I really feel like the community here is just like top notch, really.
Okay, so the community. Actually, first, let's touch on this person you're dating. How is it that you're dating someone in Brooklyn when you're living in Providence?
Well, I'm a field service engineer, so I travel a lot. And actually, currently, I wouldn't call it like dating, I guess. It's like all 3 situations are super casual.
Did you say all 3 situations?
Yeah.
Maybe we should start at the top.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, yeah. So I am currently in 3 casual dating situations. A big reason why they're all super casual is because I'm a field service engineer, and like traveling is a big part of my job. So I feel like that's pretty much the only capacity I have right now for dating. And they're all super great. It's going well so far. This person that I'm dating in Brooklyn I've been dating her since January. So she's the longest running casual situation I have so far.
Can you maybe give listeners a little background? Like, what have the last, since we met, right? 10 years of your relationship and dating life, what has that looked like for you?
When we met, I was dating Sasha.
Yeah.
She and I were monogamous for, I think we dated for close to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when we broke up, it was a big drastic change because we were living together, and all of a sudden, like, I had to kind of experience the world from a different perspective, like by myself, and also, heal and move forward and really work on myself. So, but when we broke up, I got on the apps pretty quickly.
Which apps?
Tinder. Because I don't think Hinge was really that big then.
Okay.
So Tinder was a big thing then for sure, and so I was going on lots of dates. It was kind of unreal, and thinking about it now, in terms of why I went on so many dates, I feel like it was because maybe I was trying to seek validation from people. Because I feel like that was pretty much, I feel like that was a big part of like my healing process, right? It was just seeking validation from folks. But in hindsight, it definitely wasn't the best way to go, because people's feelings were involved, and people got hurt, I got hurt, and it just, it definitely wasn't the sort of validation seeking that I should have done. My recent monogamous relationship happened during the pandemic. So I was 32. So I had been like single and dating for about 4 years. When the pandemic happened, obviously like you're gonna be stuck, so like why not have a boo, right? Why not like do the monogamous thing for a while? From dating to the COVID to monogamy, it was kind of a mind fuck, you know what I mean? Because there was the whole world stopped, and it was just now all of a sudden I had to like change my outlook and do things differently and be cautious and all this shit. Not that I wasn't being cautious while I was dating, but it was just like, now it's like for major health reasons. But now dating now, I'm not so much so seeking validation from these people. I'm definitely in that state of mind where this is where I want to have fun.
Okay. When did this most recent dating spout start? Like, when did you get out of your last relationship and start dating again?
We actually broke up on my birthday last year.
Oh shit.
So it's been 9 months. So we broke up during my birthday in August last year, and then I met this wonderful person in October, and she was a person that I was posting about, or I soft launched, and things ended there because I was traveling a lot, and and the connection just kind of withered away.
Yeah.
So, with my job, it's really hard to keep connections alive. You know what I mean?
Okay.
A lot of people want that closeness and physical touch and lots of quality time, and I just can't provide that to folks. So, but she and I are still really great friends. We talk almost every day, and she's super special. So she's definitely gonna stick around in my life for a while.
Are you still dating each other or just friends?
No, we're just friends. Although
Okay.
we still have sleepovers, and we still go on really cute friend dates.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, and I actually told her that I was in love with her.
What? Recently?
Pretty recently, yeah. And I'm okay with that. It feels really good to share that, because she's a great person, and I just want her to know that I love her through everything, really. Seeing from dating her to now just being really good friends, I see all sides of her,
Yeah.
And yeah, she received it really well when I told her it's not weird, it's just, if anything, we're way more comfortable with each other now.
So you dated this person, I feel a couple months after a breakup, you met this person, you're dating, it's not working because you're traveling a lot. And in the meantime, you've swiped on a couple other people.
Yeah. So since this person that I love, I have been just casually dating, and I haven't felt any strong connections yet. And I'm really hoping that I do meet someone where I feel that intensity again, because it was so nice, But a lot of these people that I find really interesting, or want to date casually, but also a little more than casually, are looking for serious relationships. They're looking for long-term monogamous things, or or just long-term primary partnerships. So there's that level of like, we're not on the same page. And it is a little discouraging because really I'm just trying to get everyone loved and laid,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody loved and laid. Like, I think when my friends tell me that they're going on dates or that they like got laid or something, I feel so happy for them,
Hell
yes. I get it. Yes.
This is what we should be doing.
Yeah, we should always hype our friends up,
All right, so we are above 30. It is a different pool. Can you tell me what are some of the biggest changes that you experienced from dating in your 20s to dating in your 30s?
Well, in my 20s, I feel like I was more open to different dating styles. Now I am way more concerned about whether or not I have the space, the capacity to do anything other than casual. I mean, I was a little shithead in my 20s, for sure. I wasn't really as honest. I pretty much, I did whatever I wanted and I didn't want to be told, anything else. Whereas now, like, I am definitely more communicative and open and honest and way more down to have serious conversations, whereas before I would run away because I was just like, commitment's scary. But yeah, now that I'm like almost 35, sure, like the idea of like settling down has popped up. But like I said, it's like I'm not really in the right place for that.
What have you noticed about other people in their 30s who are also dating?
I think other folks who I've dated who are also in their 30s are also open to having these conversations with me rather than like running away from them as well. I wonder if there's really any big differences other than just like maturity level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like emotional intelligence is such a big thing, and we can only hope that as you get older, you are more self-aware.
Ideally, right?
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I'm striving that's what I'm striving towards. It's just to be more self-aware and like gain all this emotional intelligence, all this knowledge. I do appreciate that, like, I think a lot of people now are willing to kind of guide folks towards like, ethical and ethical, honest dating, really.
You say this, and I'm wondering, you said the people that you're dating, they don't know about each other, but they know that you're dating. Does that fall under this ethical honesty umbrella? Like, where are the lines there?
Well, it's not like they've asked me like what the other people are like or anything like that, or who they are. It's just, I tell them that I'm like dating other people, and when it comes down to like planning dates or whatnot, I'm honest, I'm like, if they want to see me this day and I can't, I will tell them that, yeah, I'm going on a date. And they receive it really well. Everyone's super cool. This probably is like the chillest, like, casual situationships I've had. And I'm really, really enjoying it. It's so easy.
You mentioned a couple times now, and also in our text, that you've been having some fun while dating. Would you care to share a story or two about this fun? What does that mean exactly?
I guess it just means that I'm going on really cute dates, and like the fun aspect of it is the mystery behind it. So it's like all of that sexual tension, just building up throughout these dates, and trying to figure out who's gonna make the first move, and feeling feelings. That's definitely the fun part of it.
And can you tell me about, have you been on any dates that were like super awkward or gone terribly wrong, or you thought, oh my God, get me out of here, somebody call me with an emergency?
Well, when you get on these apps, like, you're bound to get like kind of catfished, right?
Did you get catfished?
Well, it's like people use filters to the fucking, like, to the, oh my God, I hate it.
Unreal.
And so like, I went on this date and with this person that I thought was like super cute, and we didn't really have much of a conversation on Tinder before meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, she was just like, let's meet tonight, I'm free. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm free too, you're super close by, let's do it. So I met up with her, and she just did not look like her photos. She wasn't like unattractive, but she definitely just I don't know. I think I feel like her aura just like was just different.
Yeah.
And she was just really boring. And oh God, at one point she was just like, she was telling me that she wanted to do all these things with me, go on all these other dates.
Whoa,
And
like already.
Yeah. And I had already known, like, when I first saw her, and like, the first 5 minutes of like meeting her, that I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know how to say, like, actually, let's not go on any other dates. But then again, I was like 27 at the time.
Okay.
This was like, and I think this was really my only bad date that I've ever had.
Oh.
I generally have really good dates. So yeah, I definitely ghosted her. And I don't encourage that, right?
Yeah.
Ghosting sucks.
I was gonna ask.
Ghosting sucks. It doesn't feel good, and like, I did feel like a shithead, but I also felt like this girl was coming on really strong, and I don't think she like got the hint, and I was also 27. I didn't know how to be confrontational and not hurt someone. So.
And how do you handle that now if you meet someone and within the first 5 minutes or by the end of the first date that you're not really interested?
Oh, I definitely will. I go the route of like, it was really nice to meet you, and I just don't think we are on the same page, but I hope you have a great time, and I hope you find what you're looking for.
Just like that.
It's not me. Just like that. I'm way more honest now, that is for sure. Yeah. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I don't want my time wasted. So yeah, there's that maturity difference, right, from my 20s to now.
When is your next date?
Well, I guess this coming weekend for the wedding.
You know how weddings can sometimes make people have feelings, or people look at other people and are like, oh, how long have you been together? What are your plans? Blah, 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 blah. Do you feel any sort of pressure or input from society in regards to where you're at in your life and who you're dating and how you're dating?
I don't feel any pressure, really. I feel like I'm pretty accomplished in my own like personal life, that like dating and seeing folks is just another like aspect of it, and I wouldn't say it's like the most important thing to me right now. But I guess taking them to a wedding, specifically my ex's wedding, I'm sure I will get questioned by their family members and friends that I hadn't seen in a really long time. But I'm just gonna tell it like it is. We've been hanging out since January, and she lives in Brooklyn, and we don't see each other that often, and it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
She is definitely someone that, first of all, she's practicing solo polyamory right now.
Can you explain what that is for people who might not know?
Yeah, so I think the way she explained it is just she is dating other folks, but she's primarily more so focused on like herself, and so I feel like I can also sort of relate to that as well right now. So she's definitely not prioritizing like last minute changes. You know what I mean? So she's definitely like a planner. If she wants to go on a date with someone, then she will plan it out. But like, if she's busy doing something else, she's not going to drop what she's doing to see these people.
I'm curious about your friend group and where you stand within that. Are multiple people single? Are they married? Are they dating? Are they in serious relationships?
I have two really big different friend groups, of different age ranges, right? I was with friends last night who are in their 20s, and a lot of them are monogamous, and they are in monogamous relationships, whereas like the folks in my 30s age range friend group are not so much. Some are married, but they're also practicing like polyamory. But I just find it so interesting that the friend group here in Providence who are in their 20s are monogamous, but then again, when I was 24, I was in a very serious monogamous relationship, right? So I get that, because I definitely felt like I wanted a sense of security when I was in my 20s versus now. And I think it was because like in our 20s we're still trying to figure ourselves out, and in terms of like who we are as a person and career and like school and whatnot. And now that we're in our 30s and we're a little more established in life, or like, and I hope everyone strives to be that way, right? But I definitely don't feel like I need another person to feel secure anymore. And there is definitely nothing wrong with longing for security in a partner. Because like at the end of the day, like, yes, you should feel absolutely 100% safe and secure with someone else. In my case right now, I definitely don't need that at all. I just feel like that's just another form of like validation that I'm not eager to seek out anymore. And I guess that goes back to, what I was talking about early on in our conversation.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about this. Yeah, because like in our 20s, yeah, we all kind of want that, right? We want that serious relationship. We want that person to settle down with and buy a house and build our careers together and do these things. And now I think I'm feeling kind of the same way as you. Like I went over that hump and I didn't do all those things. And now I'm like, whew, dodge those bullets.
Yeah.
Whereas there was a time, in my late 20s where I was thinking, oh my God, I'm falling behind. I can't keep a relationship more than a few years, but all these other people are. What's wrong with me? And
yeah, I've definitely asked myself that same question. Like, do I consider myself a serial dater, or do I consider myself as a fucking failure? Because if you think about it, like all of these dating moments or folks that I was seeing for 2 to 3 months at a time, essentially those they did fail, and so I definitely have had a hard time with my own sense of self-worth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still have moments where I feel that way now, for sure, but it's definitely not as strong because I just feel like now I have other responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess that is a big difference of dating in my 20s, and even like 30, 31 to now, I feel like people aren't used to like seeing it from a different perspective, right? Like instead of seeing it as a failure, it's what are other ways that we can, I guess, change that narrative, right? And a lot of times, like we're not taught that. We definitely see like if we fail a test, then we're a fucking failure, and yeah, and so being graded really is just, it's so demeaning. And I feel like we've taken that into our personal dating lives as well. But then again, yeah, like I also, like I said before, I still sometimes see myself as a failure, but I'm also just like, I have to like backtrack and like, reassure myself that no, it just didn't work out because of X, Y, and Z. That's all it is. It definitely doesn't mean that like I'm a failure or I'm the bad person or whatever. It's just, sometimes it just doesn't work the way you want it to, and you have to be okay with it.
I like to think of it, and this has been also a perspective change for me to kind of accept and get used to, because it's come as feedback from other people, that I am free.
Yeah, a lot of my friends who are in serious relationships have told me, they're living vicariously through me, right?
Yeah, I get that too.
And on the one hand, it feels flattering.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it makes me feel like I'm some fucking alien or something. Like shit, like I'm. It doesn't sit completely right with me,
Yeah, in what sense? I wonder that too. Like when people say that, I'm like, are you happy in your life? In your relationship? Is this where you want to be?
Right. And I think everyone wants to feel free. It's just a matter, and like you can certainly feel free in a monogamous relationship, but I think there's just obviously there's something else to be said about being completely free and not being attached to anyone.
Yeah.
It's completely different, and that's all it is. It's a different lifestyle. I think people will generally go through phases where they will miss certain parts of themselves, right? And will feel nostalgic about like their past lives and their single lives or whatever. But ultimately you just have to find happiness within whatever situation you've gotten yourself into, Yeah, you really got to ask yourself, like, is this what you want in this moment in time,
Yeah.
I think along with that, like, it's probably why it's so hard for folks to end toxic relationships.
Ooh, preach,
yeah.
preach.
Yo, can we talk about that? Because like that is real, Yeah, like there's a lot of fear when it comes to ending toxicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that fear of like not being able to find someone else, or afraid to do things on their own, or even just like change routine. Like people are just like, they're not comfortable with change.
Yeah.
And so they kind of just accept what is right in front of them. And
or the unknown. This is a big fear.
Yeah, or the unknown. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I've also been watching people dear to me get stuck in these cycles, and you can see it as an outsider, and I would want my friends to tell me like, this needs to fucking stop. And it's a gentle balance between saying, I'm watching you like dig yourself a grave and be so unhappy and frustrated inside every time, like, please cut this off. and to just be supportive and be like, and how do you feel? Would you like to come over? You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Ultimately, it's like it's up to them to, decide what to do with their lives, and we can only advise them as much as we can, but
Yeah.
I definitely have some friends who are or were in relationships that just weren't right for them, that made them unhappy, and it's hard to see that. It is really hard to see that, and no matter what you say or how much you express your opinions about their relationships, they're going to feel attacked.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're just gonna they just want you to support them through whatever decision they make. And if it means that they're gonna stick to this toxic person, then
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? You can only hope for the best and hope that they see it for themselves.
Yeah, I find that difficult. And also now that, right, being on the other side, being this free entity who is dating and living on their own schedule and being selfish, now I think if I was ever, well, one, I don't think I would let a situation like that happen anymore, or I can't say anymore because sometimes you're blinded by your own whatever. But I feel that I'm in a place where I am much more equipped to handle these kinds of things or spot these red and yellow flags and be like, nah, that's a hard pass. I'm not even gonna bother getting myself into that kind of situation. And it's not bad being single. My life is pretty great at this moment.
Right? I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I'm out at parties late into the night. I don't have to fucking check in with anybody. I don't need to text anyone hey, I'm home. No.
You leave when you want. You go when you want. You eat when you want. You watch
Yes.
when you want.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It does feel good.
And sometimes it does feel lonely. That is,
Yeah?
It does sometimes. Especially more so when I'm having rough days and I'm possibly, I feel I crave a person to kind of just vent to about, my bad day. And yeah, sure, I've got great friends that will always pick up the phone, but there's just something special about having your person to rely on,
Sometimes you just want that snuggle.
Yeah.
Or that support.
Yeah.
You've had a shitty day and you want someone else to make dinner.
That is a hard part about these casual situationships. I feel I can't tell them that I'm having a bad day and that I want to talk about it. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Why not?
Because I feel I'm possibly crossing that casual line. And I don't want to make the other person feel they are my emotional, I don't know.
Emotional support.
Emotional support.
Yeah. That sounds like that's the line when it goes from casual to dating.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't want to cross that line yet, so.
Not ready.
No.
Is there anything else that you want to share about dating in general? Any anecdotes or advice or?
I would tell folks, to jump into dating with an open mind, right? And specifically just to have fun and connect with folks, because you never know what kind of things you could get into and what kind of things you could learn from these people. And it definitely also be super honest with yourself as well as these people, right? Because no one has time for games and bullshit, right? But yeah, dating should be fun, and should be about exploring yourself and growing and also sex. Yeah. That's what it should be about, for sure. Good sex.
Dating Log is recorded and hosted by me, Wyndham Juno. It is produced by Harry Dark. We'd like to extend a giant thank you and a warm welcome to Esme Hemmings, who is responsible for our podcast artwork. I'm super stoked to have her on board. You can follow us on Instagram at Dating Log Podcast. Our website is datinglogpodcast.com. If you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at datinglogpodcast@gmail.com. And lastly, we are super excited to share the news that we've got a full season coming up for you. So please like and subscribe wherever you listen. And if you're enjoying the episode so far, leave a review and tell a friend. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode.